Hello everyone, it's Rob again, and today I'm going to be going over, why you're doing everything right, but you're still not losing the fat, you're still not getting that dream body of yours. So you've tried everything, yet your body still won't lose the fat, and you're questioning, am I really doing everything correctly? I'm counting the calories, exercising twice a day, I'm doing my cardio in the morning, I'm really restricting. And these people online are just telling me that it's my fault. Well, your body's not broken. Your body is a very smart system that knows what it's doing and it knows how to survive in environments that are not typical. So that means in caloric deficits, in famine states, or in starvation states because your body has evolved millions of years. So if you just lower your calories, it's going to lower the energy that you're putting out. It's going to kind of shut down everything because it's not going to put out a bunch of energy if there's not a lot of energy coming in, because that's just going to lead to burnout. It's going to lead to your body shutting down because there's not enough substrate on board to keep you moving forward. But nobody's body was just doomed to store fat or store extra fat. There is a reason that this is happening because your body is in a state of starvation. It's in a high cortisol state. It's in a state of famine. Your body does not know the difference between a caloric deficit and then a famine where there's no food for years on end. Think about it, millions of years ago there wasn't a refrigerator full of food or a grocery store down the road. They had to hunt, they had to forage, and they had to gather food to eat on a daily basis. So there could go weeks on end without having food. So your body stores fat for times where there's going to be no food and or there's going to be a limited amount of food. So your body is storing that fat for a reason, and it's for times where there's not a lot of food. So when you're putting your body into a deficit, it's thinking, oh my gosh, there is not going to be a lot of food later on because there's not a lot of food now. So it's assuming that there's not going to be food down the road. So the food that's coming on, it's going to store because it wants to survive. Your body is a smart triage organism. It's going to do everything it can to survive. So with the caloric deficit, your metabolism is just suppressed. That's all it is. Your body has decreased the output of energy that it's putting out because the input of energy has decreased. So it's just matching. And this is where energy balance comes in. The amount of energy you're putting in equals the amount of energy that you're putting out. You're naturally not going to want to move a lot. Your body's organisms or your body's organs are going to shut down. Your digestive system is going to slow. I've seen this with tons of people I've worked with, and even myself. When I was in a caloric deficit or I just wasn't eating enough, my digestive system was awful. I would get bloated all the time. I just wouldn't feel good. I would consistently be bloated after meals. My stomach would be just huge, and it was largely in part just due to bloat. And you probably think you're crazy. And this is a very relatable problem because I thought I was crazy too. I tried the keto, I tried the fasting, I tried the calorie counting. Yet I lost weight initially in the first couple weeks, but I initially just and then I just gained it all back in the end because you can't sustain this. Your body needs food. It needs food to survive, and there's no way that, you know, your body is meant to go with periods of super high caloric intakes and then like super low caloric deficits. I see influencers online all the time eating, you know, 2500 calories as like a 30-year-old male, which is super low to begin with, and then all of a sudden they're cutting at 1200 calories. Well, there's going to be that consistent yo-yo diet, and yeah, it's working now, but in the future it's probably not going to work really well. And it's unfortunate that they're teaching this to people because it's just basically binging and restriction, and it's honestly getting down to an eating disorder. And that's really all it is, because you're not teaching your body how to eat intuitively. You're not in tune with, you know, your hormones. And that's what true health is. You're going to realize when you get onto something that is like this, it's you're just eating intuitively of real whole single ingredient foods. And you probably have tried the eating less, moving more, like I did, like all the people I have worked with and work with have as well. And you're just frustrated, exhausted, and confused about everything because it's working for people online, but it's not working for you. So you think you're crazy. People are probably gaslighting you into thinking that you're not tracking calories correctly, or you're not doing your morning cardio, or you must be eating, something else along the lines of, the diet plan that they had given you. And that's all untrue. You're not tracking calories incorrectly. You're not missing your cardio session. I believe you. Your body is storing fat for a reason. And it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's just your biology. And this is the lie that I'm kind of exposing, is that calories in, calories out is not the full story, because it slows your metabolism, it increases hunger, and just leads to burnout in the end. Your body can only take so much stress before it starts shutting down. And if you're running on adrenaline, you're running on cortisol, those are fumes. You're not running on real fuel. Those are just fumes. So it's only a matter of time until you burn out and you can't take it anymore. And then you binge because you just need food. And then all of a sudden, you gain all the weight back, if not more. And it puts you in this yo yo cycle, which a lot of people end up getting in. And it's unfortunate because you see weight come off initially, but that weight's maybe from muscle or water weight. And then you can't take the caloric deficit anymore, so you just eat a ton of food of whatever you can get your hands on, and usually it's not good food. And that causes the weight gain and the actual weight gain of fat gain too. But what's actually happening here? So I touched upon it briefly, but your metabolism is suppressed and your body is in survival mode. So your body's storing fat instead of burning it for energy. And your body is always in a state of lipolysis, which is fat burning. And the last thing we want to do is stress your body out while it's in that state. So, me right now, my body's burning fat. You right now, watching this video, your body's burning fat. So, why not just put ourselves in a healthy state to get this fat burning done correctly? If you're going to put yourself in a stress state, you're going to lose your hair. You're going to lose, the good skin that you have. Your libido is probably going to be low. If you're, a woman, you may lose your period if your caloric intake is too low. Your skin is going to be bad. Like I mentioned, your nails are going to be very brittle. And you're just going to be cranky all the time because you're stressing yourself out more than it needs to happen, because everyone is hyper obsessed with fat burning. Well, you don't need to just purposely burn fat. You're always burning fat. So put yourself in a good place hormonally, eating enough food for your body, probably more than you think you need, and it's going to regulate your hormones where you're going to be able to burn fat effortlessly no matter what. And where you're going wrong, and where most online fitness influencers are telling you that it's just calories in, calories out. The reason you're storing fat is because you're in a state of mitochondrial dysfunction. And this is because processed foods and toxins within those processed foods, seed oils, chemical ingredients, all of that. And right here is just a brief example of what a healthy cell looks like over here. Oh, it's kind of not a good outline, but this is what a healthy cell over here looks like. And it's producing a lot of energy. And it's also producing very few harmful free radicals. So there's not a lot of toxins going out into your blood. But an unhealthy cell, which where you're eating a lot of processed foods and things of that sort, it's producing very little energy. I mean, look how wilted and disheveled this cell looks. And this is the issue. So when the processed food and the processed toxins are going into your cells, your mitochondria, it's just producing a lot of those harmful free radicals that are going back into the bloodstream. So when those go into the bloodstream, your body needs to do something with it because it doesn't want to make your blood toxic. So it takes the toxins and the poisons in your blood and it shovels them into fat storage. And that's all that fat storage is. So basically you should be thanking your body for storing fat in the first place because A, it's protecting you from a famine, and B, getting all the toxins out of your bloodstream and into fat storage so it's not poisoning you essentially. So we need to shift what fat gain really is. It's more or less just saving you essentially. That's all it's doing. It's your body is a triage system. It prioritizes survival over absolutely everything, and that's all it's doing. So instead of hating yourself for it, you should be loving your body for keeping you alive. And this brings me into my next point that fat gain is it's not willpower. It's not a discipline problem. It's simply a metabolic problem. And if your metabolism is broken, you will always store fat. Think about a plant. A plant does not grow without water and adequate sunlight. So if you want to become healthy, you need to nourish your body with nutrient-dense whole foods that have a single ingredient. So an egg has, what are the ingredients in an egg? An egg. Red meat. What are the ingredients to red meat? Red meat. That's it. And so on and so forth with fruit, white rice, potatoes, butter, ghee, coconut oil, honey, whatever it may be that has single ingredient foods, that's what you need to be eating. So your body's basically a plant. It needs the sunlight. You do need a lot of sunlight. You need good food, which is the water, and maybe you're going to give it a little plant food. But you as a human need a lot of food to keep functioning. And you can never become healthy through restriction. So if you're just restricting the amount of poison that you're eating, yes, you're going to have the appearance that you're healthier because you have less toxic poison coming into your body. But if you're eating whole foods are good. They're great. They're fantastic in any amount. You just need to eat as much as you can of whole foods until you're not hungry anymore. So the solution, like I mentioned, is just eating more whole nutrient-dense foods. That's it. Removed all the processed foods and all the seed oils, and you need to support your metabolism instead of restricting it. So that means no keto, no caloric restriction, no cutting out macros. You need to eat a well-balanced diet of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Saturated fat, a lot of saturated fat. Saturated fat is very good for you, very good for your hormones. And a lot of saturated fat has cholesterol in it, which is going to support your brain, support your hormones, support your skin. You need all three macronutrients. Eat as much food as you want, as your body is telling you to eat. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. So your body isn't broken and it's just suppressed. And the good thing is you can fix it. So when I tell people that work with me, yes, you're going to gain weight in the beginning. You may step on the scale and the scale may be up 5 or 10 pounds because of the amount of food that you're eating. Your body's naturally going to weigh more with the amount of substrate on board. But we're not going for weight. We're going for body composition, fat loss. You don't want to lose weight. If I wanted to get you to lose weight, I would just restrict your calories. You would lose muscle, you'd lose your hair, you'd lose water weight, you'd lose bone density. That's weight. I can get you to lose weight really easily. And most of the fitness influencers online are doing that. When they take someone that's really overweight and they just restrict their calories, they're just a smaller, pudgier person than they were before. They're not solving the issue of metabolic dysfunction. It's just they're lessening the poison that they're putting into their body, and they're not solving the mitochondrial dysfunction of turning that food into ATP for the body to use. So, yes, calorie counting may work in the beginning, but long term, it's always going to fail because it's not supporting and getting down at the main root cause. It's not digging down to the root cause. So, yes, you can restrict the calories that are going to be coming in, but it's always not going to fix the system. You need to nourish yourself to become healthy. And the key takeaway here is that you don't need more discipline. You just need a better internal environment. And this is where the metabolism comes in, hormones, and basically how you're just functioning as a human being on a daily basis. If you're waking up and you're tired, your metabolism is probably slow and you probably need more food on board. That's a fact. But most people think if they're tired, if they're gaining fat, they just need to restrict. Please do not restrict. Eat as much food as you can and as you want of single ingredient whole foods. That's it. It's quite simple. Knock out seed oils, processed foods, and for 30 days, drop all your vices, drinking, smoking, whatever your vices are. Just eat whole foods. It's just a 30-day reset. See how you feel. I'm sure you will feel fantastic because that's what kind of got me hooked on this. And that's what gets a lot of my clients hooked on this. They come to me and say, Rob, I've wiped out all the processed foods in my diet and I've eaten whole foods for 30 days. I can't believe the amount of fat that I'm losing. I can't believe the energy that I have. It's incredible. So please, not only take it from me, take it from the people that have tried it as well. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. The support, the time. Please like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'm going to keep pushing out these videos because I really want to help everyone that is in this metabolic limbo in a way, and that is gaining fat and don't want to gain fat. It's not a calorie problem, it's a food quality problem. So please take something from this video, even if it's one thing of eating whole foods, just take it with you today. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for the support.